Alright, gentlemen, how's it going? As you saw from those first few minutes, I finished this area. It's not 100% done, but it's looking pretty good. I did make a few cuts from last episode. I did some stuff off camera. I finished the whole side and back of this building, and it looks pretty good. I'm gonna say I do like the way it looks. It's nothing like amazing or anything like that, and I think that one aspect of this that it doesn't live up to, it just doesn't feel alive. This whole area, and it looks nice, like it's detailed, and I think the problem is that I use like these colors are just a little bit too boring. You have your brown wood, you have your gray stone, and it does have like a purple flag and cyan glass, but it just feels a little bit boring. And that's why right here, I'm gonna just come down here and then I can show you this angle. I think this is the best looking angle because you have that red brick, so it kind of just pops a little bit, and the bone block also helps a little bit. But overall, this whole area just kind of looks a little bit bland. And I mean, there's nothing wrong with that because it's just like an area off to the side. But look, when you're walking down on the ground, it feels a lot more alive and lived in. And to make this even more alive, I'm gonna add some horses and get some diamond horse armor. And that kind of reminds me, why don't they have netherite horse armor? I guess that's because no one really uses horses anymore. Everyone's just flying with their elytras, because I overuse the elytra a lot. I abuse the shit out of it, and I just spam rockets because that's the best way to travel. I said I was going to do the interior. I didn't touch the interior. Probably not going to touch it for a while because I just hate doing interiors, but I'm going to have to come back to this. Anyways, though, that's basically how I wanted to start off the video, showing you guys what I've done, what I've completed. And now I think we're going to move on, and I think that the best thing to do is to do this bridge. So I said I was going to tear this down and make a new one, and here's another time lapse. Alright, so the bridge is complete, finished it all up. I actually changed a few things up. I added, you'll see it in a second, but if I walk around this way, I added these logs, as you can see, right under there, kind of like support beams. And, oh, okay. Yeah, it's not the nicest bridge ever, but I think it looks really good. I think it really fits in with the kind of like retaining walls in the river. And overall, I think it adds a lot. It makes this place look a lot better. So pretty happy with that. And now I have to go find something else to do. Alright guys, so I was walking around my world and I was thinking about what I should do, and I saw all these different unfinished projects and these things that I should probably do and get started on, and I didn't really feel like doing any of that, and so I just kept flying around, and then I kept looking at this big area, and I remember that I've always wanted to put a sawmill here, and it doesn't really make too much sense because I have these like big stone brick pillars here that kind of block the logs, I guess. If it kind of makes sense because the train would bring the logs and then the logs would hop off the train. I guess there'd be like a crane, and I'm probably going to still build a crane, but the logs wouldn't be able to get placed onto this platform because of these big rings, and they're kind of just nice. I kind of like looking at them, and I think this is a good place to put a sawmill because it's this big open area. It doesn't really make sense, but it doesn't really have to, and that's what we're going to focus on in today's video. Here we are, and I started to make some basic plans out. So I put these 4x4 blocks of wood down, oak wood, and I think these are going to be my posts for the building, so it's going to be a fairly open building. There's just going to be like these big, strong posts going up into the sky, holding up the roof, and I'm not exactly sure what kind of roof I want to put on this building, probably like something a little bit more flat, but I'm not 100% sure. And yeah, these posts are going to go up into the sky, and they're going to hold up this big roof, and then we're going to have like logs that are sitting there. We're going to have a big saw, and it's going to look, I don't know, like a sawmill, I guess, and that's what it is, so I hope it looks like that, but we'll see. Alright, really quick update here, just showing you how the posts are looking like so far. I do like them. I think they look big and grand, but I think they're not tall enough, so I'm probably going to stack up a few more blocks. As usual, I got a bit carried away and I put in the whole roof, but I'm really happy with the way it looks like, and I didn't do any more jump cuts because I was really unsure with the way that the roof was coming in, so I kind of tore it down a few times. And even now, I'm not 100% sold on it, but I do think it looks pretty good. I like how I have like the 2 layers of the roof and then this lower one at the entrance. And it's the entrance, but since it's a really open building, it doesn't really matter where you put the entrance. I also put these fences to hold up the horizontal logs that are connecting the main posts. And overall, I think it looks really cool. I think it looks like a sawmill. This is like a sawmill specializes in cutting wood, and that's why they have all these big pieces of wood, because wood is expensive, but they have it. So that's what's going on there. A bit of story behind the building, but yeah, I think moving on, I'm gonna do a little bit more work, and then I'll catch back up with you guys. So I said a little bit more work, but I ended up basically finishing the building. Now, it's not 100% done. There's still a lot of work to do, but I think that this is all I'm going to do for today. And I still need to do the whole floor because the floor is not done. But, over here we have some logs, and I also need to do a lot of detailing. That's like the main thing. But yeah, we have these big logs here. This is part of a crane. I built a crane, but it looked absolutely hideous, so I tore it down, but this is just where it's going to be. Then over here we have this kind of log pushing mechanism. I don't know what you want to call it, but it's just these pistons that are supposed to push the logs onto these wheels. And what are these called? Grindstones or something like that. They push the wheel. They're like kind of wheels, and then they push the logs down the saw table to the saw, and then the saw cuts it in half. Then we have these lights, this light design. I really actually like these lights, how there's this log holding it down. And this is another one of my favorite details. So it's not done yet, but these hay bales, the top of them kind of looks like sawdust, and there's got to be a lot of sawdust here, and I need to add a lot more. I just kind of ran out of hay bales. I need to go get some wool. I mean, what am I talking about? Some wheat. And then put in a lot more hay bales and mix in some wood and stuff like that. Then we have these like big rafters here where the logs stay. They kind of sit here, and then if you can come buy logs and stuff like that. I really, really like the way this turned out. Maybe I shouldn't have went with oak wood as like the rafts holding up the logs, but I don't know, it looks okay. We have this sign up here, and this is like kind of like the main building where you come make your orders. I thought about like when I go to Rona or Home Depot, and you have to go to the main guy at the desk and be like, yeah, I want to buy this, and then he gives you this piece of paper, and you go to the back, and so he just got a bunch of his stuff over here, some organizers and some shelves and stuff like that, chests, just to keep all of his little tools and stuff like that back there. Up here, really didn't know what to do, so I just put a bunch of logs and put some buttons down so mobs don't spawn. You have a workbench and some barrels and stuff like that. And yeah, that's basically it. I'm definitely gonna have to come back and do a bunch more detailing. There's torches everywhere, and I don't know, I'm pretty happy with the way this building turned out, but I'm kind of sick and tired of working on it, so I'm gonna go find something else to do, and we're gonna do that. But the video is coming to a close because I don't have much more time, so we'll see what happens. I know I said I was going to jump into a clip of me doing something else, and I kind of just jumped to a time lapse. I put some music on, and I was just chilling, just turned on the replay mod and didn't capture any of the audio. That's the great thing about the replay mod. You can watch YouTube or a movie or do whatever you want and play Minecraft and record, and you don't really have to think about anything because you could just change it later. It's honestly one of the greatest features anyone's ever made for Minecraft, maybe even better than Optifine. Not really liking the way this is looking. I need to cut out some more stone blocks there, but as you can see, I worked on these cliff faces and I kind of did a little bit more terraforming, just finishing up this area. It needed some love. It didn't really have anything here before, and it was kind of just looking stony and cold, and it's not done. I still need to texture the walls and do a lot more work here. It's kind of a useless area. I need to add some more life to it. I'm not quite sure how I'm going to do that, but yeah, this area, basically, these stairs that you're seeing right now are going to lead up to some fantasy-style houses. Not really completely fantasy, but honestly, the only reason I'm using the word fantasy is because I want to use that new the blue nether wood to make the roofs. I've seen a lot of YouTubers do that, and I'm pretty excited to do that up here. So we'll see. That's probably going to be in the next video, or maybe the video after that. We're going to get started on this village up here, and it's going to be pretty different to anything that I've built down below. But yeah, you guys are going to have to wait to see that, and that's all I really have to say for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I hope you come back to see the next video.